It quickly surpassed other lesser beverages to become America's #1 favorite soft drink. Or for those that prefer a timeless root-based beverage, they pick up a delicious Nuka Cola Wild. While out here on the East Coast, folks delight in the refreshment of an ice-cold Nuka Slate, Nuka Orange, or Nuka Cherry. Out west, they enjoy regional favorites, such as the classy Nuka Cola Quartz and refreshingly patriotic Nuka Cola Victory. And be on the lookout for our special Nuka Cola Quantum, 35% alcohol by volume. Here in the mixing area, we combine just a hint of 17 select fruit. Each bottle is carbonated and then sealed with one of our signature bottle caps. That blue glow isn't just for show, folks. On behalf of all of us at Nuka Additive, to give you a nuclear boost of energy. Here in the bottling chamber, we carefully pour each delicious liquid into our new space-age rocket bottle. And now for a special surprise. This is where we produce the newest member of our family, Nuka Cola Quantum.
Hey.
What's up, boss? Well, I'll be damned. You actually did it. Nuka World is ours. All of it.
I was just doing what I do best.
Hey, if I didn't think you had it in you, I wouldn't have put my neck on the line. But still, you've just got to understand, we ain't ever been on ground this solid before. Now that we're here, let's keep this party going. I'm thinking it's time we set our sights on the Commonwealth.
I think I like where you're going with this.
Yeah, I kinda figured you would. Taking back Nuka World is a big friggin' deal, no question. But it can't be the end of things. Needs to be a beginning. These bunch of savages need a goal, something to focus on. If they ain't got it, they'll wind up turning on each other. In an operation this big, we're gonna need more of, well, everything. Nobody's gonna hand it to us. We need to take it. Commonwealth has a ton of shitty little settlements that could be put to better use. Don't you think?
Sounds like you've had this plan from the beginning.
The ideas crossed my mind, sure. But I'm just making suggestions here. You're the one that needs to give the go-ahead. We don't gotta rush into this headlong. We take it slow. Be smart about it. If we're aiming to grab a piece of the Commonwealth, it's going to take the right contacts and a lot of muscle. Right? I say we go have ourselves a chat with Shank. He's the point man for everything entering and leaving Nuka World. He floated this idea before. Been itching to talk to you ever since you took over. So I bet he's got a good idea of where to start. He's in charge of the caravan, so odds are you can find him somewhere near the marketplace.
If you're vouching for this Shank guy, that sounds good enough to me.
Yeah, sure. How else do you think he ended up at the top of my Christmas list? Just head over and talk to the guy. He'll back up what I'm saying about the Commonwealth. And while you're doing that, I've already got the gangs working on getting Nuka World's power plant up and running. It's about time we shed some real light around here and let people know we mean serious business. Oh, and if you need my advice and you want me to keep tagging along, you've got it.
Three rival gangs in one place and they're not killing each other? I've never seen anything like it.
Well, look who it is. Liking what you've done with the place, boss. Gang certainly seem pleased with their new little kingdoms. Haven't seen people this revved up since last time someone spiked the water fountains. Never formally introduced myself. Name's Shank. And if you and Nuka World's favorite Cyclops are standing here, well, I suppose he expects you might be the one to finally get things back on track. How long did it take him to convince you it was time to move on the Commonwealth?
Hey now, no convincing, just a friendly conversation between like-minded individuals.
It sounded like a good idea.
Because it is. Giving the gang spots to call their own around the park, it bought you some goodwill. But providing them with their own domains, carved from the settlements of the Commonwealth, well, I can't think of a better way to solidify your place around here. Plus, make us all a pretty penny along the way. If that interests you, well, all you've got to do is say the word, and we can let the fun begin.
Okay, let's get started.
Music to my ears.
Shank ain't kidding. This is gonna be all kinds of fun.
So getting us set up in the Commonwealth's gonna require three things. Territory, provisions, and loyalty. First things first, territory. we're gonna need to claim a settlement for our gang to work from. An outpost. And there are two ways to claim new territory. You can head in yourself and convince the locals to leave. Or I can get a crew together and you all can put them in the dirt. How you do it is up to you. So, first big decision. You want to talk them off their land? Or you want to wipe them out?
I think you know what I'd rather do, boss.
Let me talk to them. I'll convince them to leave.
Works for me. Once you've planted your flag in the place, I'll send a crew in to set up shop. Now, next up, you'll have to pick who you want to hold your outpost once it's established. Of course, every outpost you claim for a gang is going to be something the other gangs don't have. And none of them like the thought of their rivals getting a leg up on them. Worth thinking over as you dole out more territory. So, which gang should I have join you once you've staked your claim?
The pack.
Sure. I'll get a stake on a string or something.
Gotta let the dogs run around every once in a while, huh?
That just leaves the target. Now for a new outpost, you'll usually want to target a spot with plenty of populated settlements nearby that might be able to feed our people later on. Taffington Boathouse, Croup Manor, Greentop Nursery, the Slog all had a good number of farms within striking distance last I checked. Though I'll need to go through my notes again, make sure they're all still good to target. We're not always going to be able to run every job against every settlement. So, you ready to pick the spot for Nuka World's first new homestead?
I'm ready.
Good. So, what's the target? Wait, pretty sure that place is one of yours, boss. That's where you want to hit?
Actually, I changed my mind.
Sure. You want to give me another target? Or did you maybe want to change up the job?
Let's do a different target.
You got it. So, where you want to do this? Yeah, that one will do. So, to get these folks to scram, you got two main options. Buy them out, or scare them off. Either way, the more afraid they are, the simpler or cheaper getting them gone will be. Lizzie Wyeth over with the operators should have some toys that'll make running them off easier. And it's worth keeping in mind, the more populated or fortified a place is, the more prep you're gonna want to do before trying to run them off. Scare them good, boss.
Hope I don't have to head back out there anytime soon.
Over, boss. Making trouble? Good. We'd all considered putting a bullet in Coulter's back at some point. Suppose you just beat us to it.
I'm gonna trust you.
Hey there.
Was a bet going to see who could down a mutie from the longest distance. William made a whole mess of caps that week.
Hey,
Over, boss. A pleasure. Shank said you might need some tools to ease relations with the people of the Commonwealth. Well, you've come to the right place. I've put together a couple of toys that should make getting what you want out of those rubes easier. Only thing we ask in return is that you remember the operators when you're handing out new territory on the other side of the mountains.
Don't worry. Your gang will be taken care of.
Wonderful. So, first up, something to manipulate a target. It's a homemade distillation brewed to mimic human flight pheromones. Toss one of these grenades at the feet of your target, and convincing the wary settler suddenly becomes a much simpler affair. Now, to function effectively, I had to make the formula precise. So it's not going to work on people in any of the big towns like Bunker Hill or Diamond City, nor on caravanners. But for your purposes, hitting settlements out in the Commonwealth, it ought to give you a serious edge.
Take any advantage I can get.
Well, this should give you one. Here. Only had enough to make the one locally. But you can take the recipe as well, should you find yourself wanting more. So, the other trick up our sleeve is a little more broad spectrum than the grenades. Gulp down a couple lungfuls, and anyone you speak to will be far more apt to give you what you want. Plus, I've winnowed down the addiction risk to near zero, so no need to fear repeat usage. Here. Ingredients for that one have been tricky to find, but between that and the grenade, you should have no problem getting at least one settlement under your control before you have to brew up your own. And just remember us when you're crushing those poor settlers underfoot, hmm?
Nuka world is a trap for fools, and an opportunity for those
If
who
Lizzie
recognize
asks you to volunteer for one of her tests, don't.
Hacking disciples. Bunch of amateurs playing dress up.